Hello friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new. Thank you so much for coming to watch today's tutorial. I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this super fun, colorful, funky spiral square cardigan. And I made a vlog of me crocheting all the squares. If you want to go check that out, it was so fun. You guys really loved it, so thank you for all the love on that. But today I'm going to show you how to actually make the squares, assemble it, all that stuff, because you could also, if you don't want to make a cardigan, you could totally make a sweater with this. You can literally do anything that you want with these squares. They're so fun, and I'll explain to you in a couple minutes how to make them. But first I want to add a couple notes that I have on this pattern. I am not 100% sure how much yarn I used, and I know that is so frustrating, and I'm really sorry, but I used so many skeins of yarn and a bunch of one and a bunch of, you know, a whole thing of another, and it's really hard for me to figure out how much yarn I used when I do that. So I don't know if you can figure it out after the fact, and if you can, let me know, because I will definitely let you know if I can, but I'm not 100% sure how much yarn that it took. I know that I used a lot. That's all I gotta say. Also, that sketch that I was just doing of the, how I said 69 squares, I was totally off. You need 84 squares in the end if you're making a small medium. It depends on your size, of course, how many you need, but for a small medium, I would recommend 84 squares. And later on, I'll share the accurate sketch of the layout, but that's later on. What we need to focus on right now is how to make the squares, and I'll show you how to do that. They're super simple once you get the hang of it. I know it looks like a bunch of chaos with so much yarn hanging out, but truly it's really not that hard. And as you can see here, I added in a strand of mohair for some extra texture, and I really loved that. Like a thin strand of mohair and then a thin yarn. It added just this fun, fuzzy, different vibe, and I loved that. And I did that with a bunch of different colors of mohair because Hobbii sent me a bunch of fun colors. And before this video, I hadn't worked with mohair very much, so I was pleasantly surprised. It is definitely not fun to frog, so make sure if you're doing a project with mohair, you really like it, because you will not want to frog it. Also, this is the last tutorial that I'm going to film on my phone because I recently got a new camera. I filmed my last vlog with it, and I had already filmed half of the footage for this tutorial on my phone, so I was like, I don't really want a drastic, awkward change of quality midway through the video, so I just stuck with my phone for the rest of the tutorial, and then I'll switch over on the next tutorial. But anyway, I'm really excited about this. I absolutely love these squares. I love the spirals. I love the fun colors. I literally just love everything about it. This color combination here was my favorite of all of them. I used 5 different skeins of yarn for this one, and it truly just came out to be my absolute favorite. But if you see one and you're like, ooh, that one's my favorite, let me know, because I want to know which one your favorite is. And I also want you guys to make this because I want to see what colors that you do, because I feel like that would be so fun. I'm going to start off by showing you how to make the spiral square. I have a 4mm hook, which is the hook that my yarn tells me to use, and then I have 4 different colored skeins of Friends Cotton 8/6 yarn by Hobbii, my absolute favorite cotton yarn. And I'm going to start off with a magic circle. So I'm just going to take my yarn, short end here, long end here, drape it over my fingers, take the long end, wrap it around my 3 fingers like this to make an X. Then I'm going to take my hook, put my hook under this first loop of the X here, under, like that, and then I'm going to grab this one right here with my hook. So I'm going to go under this one and over this one, grab my yarn and twist my hook around like that. And I'm going to take the circle off of my fingers. And then to secure it all in place, I'm going to chain 1. So there we have our magic circle. And now in the center of the circle, I'm going to put 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 1 double crochet. Then I'm going to pull up a loop so we don't have any stitches popping off. Then I'm going to set this down for just a second and grab my next color, which is this cool purple, and I am going to do a slip knot. And I am going to again grab my magic circle and insert a standing single crochet into the circle. So how to do that: you insert your hook into the magic circle, pull up a loop, 2 loops there, yarn over, and pull through 2, just like you would make a regular single crochet. And then you're going to yarn over and make a half double crochet, and then a double crochet. So single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, all into that circle with the next color. And then I'm going to pull up another loop of yarn and grab my next color, which is this dark green, make another slip knot, and do the exact same thing that we did with this purple color here with that lighter purple. We're going to insert our hook into the circle, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 to make a single crochet, half double crochet next to that, and then a double crochet right next to the half double crochet. And then again, we're going to pull out a loop and do the exact same thing with our green yarn, our light green yarn. Make a slip knot, do a standing single crochet into the magic circle, half double crochet next to that, and then a double crochet. And again, we're going to pull up a loop. And then we have this wonky circle with a bunch of stitches in it. So we're going to take the end of the magic circle and pull it to tighten up that circle. And this is what we have right now. It doesn't look anything like a spiral, but it will very soon, no worries. So I'm going to rotate my work and go back to my first color, which is this purple here. And I'm going to reinsert my hook into that big old loop that we pulled up. And I'm just going to pull it back down so we can resume working with it. And then in that first stitch, that first single crochet of the next color, I'm going to put 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. So 1 and 2, and then in the next stitch I'm going to put 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and then we have another stitch. We just have to pull back the loop here, and we're going to put 2 double crochets into that loop as well. Now I'm going to pull up the yarn so we don't lose any stitches, and then I'm going to move on to my next color, which is this light purple, and I'm going to put the loop on my hook and then tighten the end just like that. And then in that first single crochet of the green, I'm going to put again 2 half double crochets in that same stitch. And then as you can see here, things are looking a little bit wonky. So we're just going to take the loop that we made for the green and pull it this way so we can see our 2 stitches that we have left, just like that. And then if you need to, you can hold this in place so you can put your stitches where they need to go. In the next stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. And then in that last stitch, we're going to again put 2 double crochets. Then we're going to pull up a loop, find our next color, which is green, put that loop on our hook, and tighten it down. And then in that first single crochet of the light green, we're going to put 2 half double crochets, pull back our loop here, put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, pull back our loop again, and then 2 double crochets in that last stitch. Pull up a loop, and then we're going to do the same thing with our green. And now we're going to do with our light green, we're going to find that first single crochet, it might be hiding a bit, right there. And we're going to repeat the same sequence that we've been doing with 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, 2 double crochets in the next, and then 2 more double crochets in one stitch. So we have 2 half double crochets, 2 double crochets, 2 double crochets. With the other colors, we went all the way to the end, to the loop, but for the final color, the green, you don't want to go all the way to the end here because it's going to mess up your spiral. So you basically just replicate the exact same thing that you did with all 3 colors. With the green, you just don't go all the way to the end because then it would really mess up the spiral. So this is what we have right now. I'm just going to pull up a loop of my green, and then I'm going to rotate my work back to my dark purple, reinsert my hook, and then in the next stitch I'm going to put 1 double crochet, and then in the next stitch I'm going to do 2 double crochets for an increase, one double crochet in the next, two double crochets in the next, one double crochet in the next, pull back that loop if you need to, and then in that final stitch we're going to do 2 double crochets. Pull up a loop again, grab your light purple, and now with our light purple we're going to repeat the exact same thing that we did with the dark purple, alternating 1 double crochet in one stitch, 2 double crochets in the next, so it's no increase, increase, no increase, increase until you reach the end. So in our next stitch we're doing 1 double crochet, an increase in the next of 2 double crochets in 1 stitch, 1 double crochet in the next, 2 double crochets in the next, pull back that loop, 1 double crochet in the next, and then we always end with an increase of 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. If you don't end on an increase, go back and check your work, make sure that you counted and did the sequence correctly. Now I'm just pulling up my purple and grabbing onto my dark green and doing the exact same thing of 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets in the next, 1 double crochet in the next, 2 double crochets in the next, just alternating back and forth between no increase, increase, no increase, increase. And remember, always end on an increase of 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. Pull up the loop of our dark green, grab onto our light green. Now we're going to repeat the exact same thing that we did for the other colors, but the only thing that changes on our final skein is that we do not go all the way to the end of the purple. Like we did with the other colors, we go all the way to the final stitch, but we don't want to do that with our final skein because, again, that's really going to mess up our spiral. For the other colors, we did 1 double crochet in the first stitch, 2 double crochets in the next, 1 double crochet in the next, an increase in the next, 1 double crochet in the next, and an increase in the next. So that's what we're going to do, the exact same thing for the light green. 1 double crochet in the first stitch, increase in the next, 1 double crochet in the next, increase in the next, 1 double crochet in the next, and then increase in the next. So you're just repeating 1 double crochet and then 1 increase. You're just repeating it 1, 2, 3 times. After this row, you can really start to see the spiral forming, which is so fun. So now we're just going to pull up a loop of our green, rotate our spiral back to our first color, which is our dark purple, reinsert our hook, and now there's going to be 2 double crochets, 2 normal double crochets in between every increase. I'll show you what I mean. So in our first stitch, we're putting 1 double crochet. In the next, we're again just putting 1 double crochet. And then in our next stitch, we're going to be doing our increase of 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. 1 and 2. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet, and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to be doing our increase of 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. Pull back our loop to reveal our final stitch there. And then we're just again going to do 1 singular double crochet, 1 singular double crochet in the next stitch, and then an increase of 2 double crochets in 1 stitch in that final stitch here. Pull up our loop. So basically we're just doing 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, increase, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, increase, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, increase, and we're just repeating that sequence of 1, 1, 2, 3 times. So now I'm just going to grab my light purple and do the exact same sequence. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, increase, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, increase, pull back that loop, and then our final sequence, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then increase in the final stitch. Pull up the purple loop, grab onto your next color in line, and repeat the sequence of 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then an increase of 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. Repeat that again. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, increase, and then 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then an increase in our final stitch. And then with our light green, remember to pull up a loop for your dark green. For our light green, I can do it. Okay, for our light green, we're going to repeat the exact same thing, the exact same sequence 3 times of 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, increase, and we're just repeating this 3 times total. So I did it once, now I'm going to do it again. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, increase, so that's 2, and then 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, increase, so that's 3. Pull up a loop, rotate back around to your purple, and now we're going to start working on squaring this off, because if we just kept going, it would make it into a circle, but we don't want it to be a circle. So for this row, we are going to work on making it and turning it into a square. So my first stitch is actually going to be a treble crochet into the next stitch. So I'm going to do 1 treble crochet in the next stitch, another treble crochet in the next, then I'm going to chain 1 for our corner, treble crochet in the next, treble crochet in the next, and now we need to build down our square. So I'm going to choose a smaller stitch, which is a double crochet in the next stitch, so double crochet in the next, and then a half double crochet in the next, single crochet in the next, and lastly a very loose slip stitch in the next. So super loose, you don't want to tighten anything. And I'm just going to cut the purple because it is done. Pull out my hook very gently, don't tighten it, just leave it like that. And then I'm going to go over to my light purple and repeat the exact same thing that I did here. Treble crochet in the first stitch, treble crochet in the next, chain 1, treble crochet in the next, and the next. So 1 treble crochet, 1 treble crochet, chain 1, 1 treble crochet, 1 treble crochet, double crochet in the next, half double in the next, single crochet in the next, and then 1 very loose slip stitch for our last of the light purple. can cut your yarn, loosely pull out your hook, and then we're going to grab onto our dark green and repeat the exact same thing that we did for the 2 purples. 1 treble crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 treble crochet, 1 treble crochet, chain 1, and then 2 treble crochets in the next 2 stitches. And then a double crochet in the next, half double crochet, single crochet, very loose slip stitch. Cut your yarn, pull out your hook, and lastly we have this light green, and we're going to do the exact same thing. 1 treble crochet in the next 2 stitches, chain 1, 1 treble crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then after that we have a double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, and then of course ending on our very loose slip stitch. Cut your yarn and pull out your hook. So this is what our spiral looks like so far. And I want it to be even more evenly square. So I'm going to add a border around it like I did with this one. You can pick any color with this. You can pick any of your already used colors, or you could pick a new color. I think I'm just going to go with my dark green color here. So I'm going to set these guys aside. And now I'm just going to make a slip knot with this green yarn. And then again, with that standing single crochet that we did in the beginning, I'm going to attach it, the yarn, into one of the chain 1 spaces. Any of them would be just fine, but I'm going to pick this one. So I'm going to do that same thing with that standing single crochet, insert my hook into the chain 1 space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 to make a single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 2 for the corner, and in that same stitch do 1 single crochet for our corner. And now we're just going to scooch those 2 little single crochets over, and as you can see we have a stitch right here. We don't want to miss that one, so don't forget about it. And we're going to put a single crochet in that stitch, single crochet in the next. And then this tail here, just pull that aside so you can see the rest of your stitches. Single crochet in the next. We're going to be doing 1 single crochet in every single stitch on the side here. So I have 1, 2, 3 so far. 1 single crochet in the next, 1 single crochet in the next, and then in our slip stitch right here, right there, we're going to put our next single crochet, and then see this green piece of yarn right here that's into that stitch? We're going to put our next single crochet right into that stitch that the slip stitch is coming out of, right here. Our next single crochet goes right into that space. And then all the way down until we reach our next chain 1 space, I'm just going to put 1 single crochet in every single stitch, and you should have 13 single crochets starting from this stitch all the way down. There should be 13 on each side. I've reached a chain 1 space, and I'm going to put 1 single crochet into that space, chain 2, 1 single crochet right next to it for our corner. I'm going to scooch them over, find that next stitch in line, put my first single crochet of the side into that stitch, and 1 single crochet in all of the next stitches. And then we're just going to pull the tail of that dark purple so we can see our slip stitch better. And I'm just going to put my next single crochet into that slip stitch of the purple. And I'm just going to pull it again. And then in that same stitch that our dark purple is in, that we did our slip stitch in with our dark purple, we're going to put our next single crochet in that space. So that's 7 single crochets so far. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So each side should have 13 single crochets. Each corner should have 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet, then 13 single crochets down the side, single crochet in that chain 1 space, chain 2, another single crochet in that space, tuck them over, do our first single crochet in that stitch right there, and then 13 all the way down the side. And then in that slip stitch, a single crochet, and this one right here, where we have this one little string of purple attached, we're going to do a single crochet in that space. And then the rest of our 13 single crochets until we reach our next corner. We've reached our next corner, so we're just doing 1 single crochet, chain 2, and 1 single crochet in that same stitch. And then we're going to repeat the exact same thing, doing 13 single crochets down the side until we reach our first single crochet of the row. And then you're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that you made. Then you're going to chain 1. And in that same stitch that you slip stitched into, you're going to put 1 half double crochet. And then in that chain 2 space, you're going to put 2 half double crochets, because this chain 2 space is now our corner. So you're going to put 2 half double crochets into that space. Careful that you're not putting them into that first single crochet of the side row here. Make sure you're just putting them into the chain 2 gap. So now I have 2 half double crochets in that gap. I'm going to chain 2 and put 2 more half double crochets in the same gap. And then we're going to tuck over these half double crochets, put our first half double crochet in that little hidden single crochet there, and then 1 half double crochet in every single stitch until I reach the next chain 2 space, and there will be 15 half double crochets now along the side. So make sure to count. Now we reached our chain 2 space, and I'm going to put 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. Move them over a bit. First half double crochet in that little hidden single crochet, and then 1 half double crochet in every stitch. So we have 15 total until we reach our next chain 2 space. And now in that chain 2 space, I'm going to do 2 half double crochets, chain 2, and 2 half double crochets in that same stitch. Scooch them over so we can see that stitch right there. Put our first half double crochet into it, and then the rest of the 14 half double crochets all the way down the side until we reach our next corner space. Reached our corner space, so we know what to do. 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. Scooch them over, and now I'm just doing my last half double crochets down the side, and for the final side you're only going to have 14 half double crochets, because if you remember in the beginning of the row we already made our 15th half double crochet. That was our first stitch that we made for the row, was 1 half double crochet in that same slip stitch spot, so that would be our 15th half double crochet. So don't panic if you only have 14. This one right here is our 15th. So we're just going to go ahead and slip stitch into that 15th half double crochet. Just slip stitch right into that, chain 1, cut your yarn, pull out your hook, tighten it a bit, and there you have your square. I just sprayed it with a bunch of water, and now I am wet blocking it on my little blocking board, kind of just stretching it out a little bit to loosen up those stitches. Always block your squares. Always, always, always. They have to be blocked. I am a huge promoter of blocking your granny squares, squares of any kind, just so they're all perfect in the same exact size. And I wanted to show you this stack that I blocked. All of them perfectly the same size. They are all the exact same size because I blocked them. It's very important. Don't forget to do it. So now I'm just going to let all of my squares dry for about 24 hours. And then we're going to work on assembling all of the pieces together. Okay, so here's our sketch, and I have the 69 squares done, and I'm just gonna lay it all out, see how everything is looking, but I'm kind of stressing out right now because I feel like this might be too small. Like, I wanted this cardigan to be fairly long-ish, like maybe like mid-thigh, and I feel like this isn't going to be big enough. All of our squares. So now I'm just gonna work on laying them all out like I have here for our sketch that we made earlier on in the video. So I'm just gonna take them all off of the blocking boards because I think they're all nice and, well, this one's a little wet still. I tried to like do this to air them out a little bit, but yeah, these are all dry, these are all dry, and these are all dry. So yeah, I'm just gonna take them off the boards now. That did not go as aesthetically as I wanted it to. There we are. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Yeah. That's better for sure. Wow. Here we are. These guys are still kind of wet, unfortunately. But you know what? I'm just gonna roll with it and pretend that they're not. Nice. And this is the sad moment when I realized that 69 squares were not nearly big enough, so I had to make 15 more to put all around it, so I had a total of 15 more to do. And I was slightly disappointed because I was very happy about finishing it almost, and then I had to do 15 more, but it's okay, not a big deal. So this is what I have done today so far. I love this one. These colors are so fun. I love that bright green so much. Okay, so that's what I have so far. I only need one more, and then I'll have 15, and then of course I have to do the borders, but we have an end in sight. Okay, so I added all the 15 squares. It looks so much better. Hopefully it's good enough because I do not want to have to make 15 more. Right now I'm working on one of the sleeves, and I'm just going to sew up here, 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 and here, and then I'm going to go here and here. So I have my squares lined up together here, and I have my yarn coming out from this side, and I'm not going to go on this side. You know how like you sew back and forth and back and forth? I'm going to go on the other side, like this, and I'm going to constantly go on that other side and not go back and forth, so it kind of keeps looping over like this. But you can sew this together in any way you want. You can do slip stitching, you can do back and forth sewing, you can do whip stitching, you can do invisible joins, you can do anything that you want. I'm just doing it this way. I've never done it this way before, so if I don't like it, I'll just take it apart. But I think I'm liking it so far. Now I'm at the corner, so I'm just inserting my tapestry needle right into the corner there, and then I'm going to scooch to these two, and I'm going to insert my tapestry needle into these corners to connect the two together. And then I'm just going to keep on going. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3 all whip stitched together, and now I'm going to do these 3, and then these 3, and then these 3. Okay, so I wanted to take a sec to explain the layout of the cardigan. So these are the front 2 panels. This area here is the back. These are the 2 sleeves, and I have the sleeves laying 1, 2, 3 here. I'll show up the sketch on screen just so it's easier to see, and then I'll also redraw the sketch and put it up on screen, because remember I added more squares, so I think the sketch will just be easier to visualize. Alright, so we have all of this, this, and this done. So now I'm just going to whip stitch here and here. I usually look for flat joining methods. I don't technically care that it's visible because, of course, the whip stitch method is visible, but I don't really care about that. What I care about mostly is the flatness of it, and it's really, really flat, so I am loving it so far. Okay, so I have my squares lined up together nicely. You can also like pinch them up like this so you can see the V-stitches better, but basically my yarn is sticking out over on this side, and it will be sticking out over on this side continually, and you just basically, let me find the next stitch, here it is, you just go under the 2 loops of the right square and the 2 loops of the left square, just like that. And then again, 2 loops of the right square, 2 loops of the left, like that. And you just keep on going. In every single stitch, make sure that your square is laying flat so you go evenly up the square. Now I've reached the corner, so I'm just going to stick my tapestry needle in both corners on both sides, the right and left. And then I've reached another square, so I'm going to go again in the corners of the next 2 squares, like so. Tighten it up. And keep on going. Doing the exact same thing, having these perfectly lined up on both sides, all the way down the square. So now, just to end it, I'm going through my right corner on my square and then into the left. And then in that loop that I made, I'm just gonna go under that loop like that and just tighten it a little bit. And there we go. Okay, so here we have our sleeve done, one sleeve done, which is very exciting. The whip stitch, as you can see, is very nice and flat. There's no lumps, which I really, really like. So I'm gonna continue on doing this, but I think I'm gonna be done for the night. It is almost 1 o'clock and I should probably call it a night. I am debating on doing the other sleeve, but I think I should call it a night. That way I'm well rested for tomorrow. But once I start something, I get very hyper focused and just want to keep going until it's finished. But I should probably do the responsible thing and go to bed. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, it is the next day, and now I'm just going to whip stitch all the way up here, then here, and then here, and then here. I finished doing all the long parts, and now I'm just going across here, 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 and then here. And then when I reach here, I'm gonna go all the way across, as you can see. So that's what I'm working on right now. And then I'm gonna flip-flop over to this side and do the same thing. Boom. And then I will be done with seaming it all together because I did the other sleeve. So yeah, I'm really excited because this has been taking forever. I also just wanted to share a quick tip on how to get out enough yarn. So what I do is I just measure the length of the square going, whatever way, because they're all the same. So I just measure it 3 times, 1, 2, 3 for 1 square. But for this one, I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. So that would be 15 times, 3 for each square. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I usually end up with a very perfect amount by doing that method. So I just want to share that with you, just in case you were wondering or confused, because I was at first. Okay, so everything all seamed up except the sleeves are not yet, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the diagram up on the screen again so you can look at it. I redid it with the extra 15 all around. So you're just going to lay your sleeves out like I have in the diagram, and as you can see, it's in the middle of a square. And I already put my cutesy little Hobbii stitch markers on this side. I'll show you on the other side everything I'm doing. But basically what I did was I connected the two in this corner here, and then 10 stitches up the side of this square, and then 10, oops, you can't see what I'm doing, sorry, 10 stitches up the side of this square, and then just attach the two with my, what are these called? Stitch markers. So I'm gonna show you on the other side and explain that a little bit better. Here I am on the other side. I have two more cute little stitch markers. So I have my sleeve here, and I'm going to count here. See, we have our little V stitches. I'm just gonna count up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because that is about the middle of the square. I think there's 19 stitches, I could be wrong, but 10, I was like, okay, that's kind of like a good amount in the middle. So I'm just gonna insert my stitch marker in this stitch here, pull out my tapestry needle, and then this little chain 2 space of our sleeve, I'm just gonna grab it, close the stitch marker, and there we go. Now we're gonna go to up top here. And then same thing, I'm just gonna count 10 stitches up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here, okay. So now everything is attached, and now we just have to whip stitch them together like we whip stitched everything else. Okay, so now I have yarn on my tapestry needle. I'm just gonna insert my hook into the corner of the square here. Okay, and then in the stitch marker, in the stitch that the stitch marker is in, I'm just gonna insert my tapestry needle into that stitch, leaving the stitch marker in so I can see which stitch it is, but now you can pop it out if you want, since our yarn is in there. Whoops. Gotta put this back in the corner. And then you can just tie them together. And then again, I'm just gonna do the same thing of whip stitching the sleeve on, just the exact same way that we have been doing it. Okay, so I reached a corner space, and you basically just treat it as a regular stitch. Just go in it, and then in the next one, yeah, you just treat it like a regular stitch. Okay, so I've reached the end, just going in my last corner here, pulling out my stitch marker, and then, oops, ending it like I normally would. Seamed up all of it. So now I just have to fold it to look like a cardigan, and then we have to seam the sleeves, seam the body, and then we're gonna be able to move on to the border, the cuffs, all that. Oh my gosh, this was quite the job, let me tell you. But the seaming is so nice and flat. It's not bulky or anything. It's exactly what I wanted, so I'm really happy with it. That's what it looks like. A little more up close. Obviously you can tell that it's there, but I think that it's better to have it flat and more noticeable than like bulky and not noticeable. I don't know. I mean, of course that's personal preference, but I really like how this looks with the aesthetic of this cardigan for sure. So now what we have to do is whip stitch here to here and here. Jesse, am I in frame? Can you see me?
I can't see you.
Can you see what I'm
I can see
doing?
what you're doing, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Anyway, back to what we're doing. Seaming here to here. So that's what we're doing now. These ends are actually sending me into an eternal panic. Like okay, we're not gonna look at that. We're just gonna close that up. I can still see them. Oh gosh. Anyway, so now we have to just seam here, 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 here. Same that thing, same, wow, I can speak. Same way we did the rest. So, I'm gonna do that. So we have one side done. Oh my gosh, it is, okay, I know you can't really see very well. Obviously this side is not done, but this is what we have right now. I am literally freaking out at how obsessed I am with it. The length is perfect. The arm length is, it's a little long, which is okay. It's a little bit long, so I'm not gonna be able to add cuffs like I originally planned, but I am gonna do like a single crochet or half double crochet border around it. We'll see, but oh my gosh, you guys.
It reminds me exactly.
Okay, so here's the sweater, all seamed up. I got it all seamed up last night, and of course the ends are not in, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. Originally, I wanted to do cuffs for the sleeves, but I made them too long. I added another row of squares, which thinking back, I probably shouldn't have, but it's okay. We're gonna work with it, what we have now. So I'm going to just make a couple single crochet rows around the sleeves. So I have some 8/8 cotton yarn because I ran out, well not ran out entirely, I have some left. And this is definitely not going to be enough for however much we need, because we do need quite a bit. So starting on one of the sleeves, I'm going to insert my yarn in one of the corner spaces right here. So I'm going to insert my yarn. Now I'm going to reinsert my hook into that space that we connected our yarn in. Pull up a loop and chain one. And then in that same space, we're going to make a single crochet. And then I'm going to put a single crochet in the next corner, right there. And then, as you can see, we're going to put just one single crochet in the top of every stitch here. Okay, so I've reached another corner, and I'm just going to put one single crochet in the corner and then one single crochet in the next corner, just like that. You just basically put one single crochet in every stitch, and I'm just putting one single crochet in each corner space when I get to them. Now I've reached the beginning where I have my chain one single crochet in this corner space, and now I'm just going to slip stitch into that single crochet. Then I'm going to chain one, turn my work, and in that same chain one space, I'm going to put a single crochet. And now again, one single crochet in every single stitch all the way around the sleeve. I've reached the beginning of the row, and I'm just going to again slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet, Then I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and then again I'm going to put my same 1 single crochet in that same chain 1 space, and then 1 single crochet in every stitch. Okay, then I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet, chain 1, and cut my yarn. And there we have a little border around our sleeve. And now I'm going to do the same thing on this sleeve. Okay, so sleeves border is done. So now I'm going to do the border around the actual top, sides, bottom, sides, top again. So I'm going to actually flip this around to the back. So I'm at the back bottom here. And I'm just going to attach my yarn in one of these back squares here. Just in any one of these, I'm just going to attach my yarn in any of them. So it doesn't matter, just any of these back squares. So I just did the same thing, chained 1, putting a single crochet, did the same thing that I did with the sleeves, chained 1 single crochet in that same corner space, single crochet in the next corner space, and then in every single double crochet spot, I'm just putting 1 single crochet and then 1 single crochet in each corner as well. And I'm just gonna go all the way around and do, again, probably the same 3 single crochet rows, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but for sure 3 at least. I'm just not sure if maybe more. So I do 3 or 5. We shall see what it looks like when I'm done. So I'm gonna do 3 rows all the way around, doing 1 single crochet in every stitch, 1 single crochet in the corner spaces. And then once you reach the beginning, you just put your slip stitch in the top of the first single crochet that you made, not the chain 1. Then you chain 1, turn your work, put 1 single crochet in that same space, and then repeat 1 single crochet in every stitch. And then I will see you once we both have our 3 rows. Okay, I had enough for the 3 rows. So excited. So now I am unfortunately having to do the tedious task of weaving in all of the ends. Keep the merch. I made merch, by the way. Just released it. Looks so cool with the cardigan. So go check it out. Link in my description. And here it is, the finished spiral cardigan. I absolutely love it. Let me know what you think, if you love it too. And if you make one, of course, do not forget to tag me because I want to see what colors you use. I'm very, very excited to see what you guys do with yours. I'm very excited, so please make it so I can see. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content from me. Also, another vlog should be coming out very soon. I'm currently filming it as we speak, so be on the lookout for that. And I just hope you guys have the most amazing day ever. Thank you for all the love and support. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.